you have watched all the videos that we have sent to you and you are learning every day. And this video is going to help you in revising all the topics that we have sent. Yes, this is a revision video for grade 8. This is a revision video for grade 8. The topics to be covered are the best Christmas gift in the world, the tsunami from your prose, the ant and the cricket, and the geography lesson from your poem. Supplementary reader, that is how the camel got its hump and children at work. These are the things we are going to discuss in this video. First one is Unit 1 Prose, the best Christmas present in the world. So introduction about this lesson is, this lesson is about the best Christmas present given to Connie Macpherson. As per the title, the whole lesson is dealing with what? Christmas Day. Yes, the whole lesson is dealing with Christmas Day. Let us get into the lesson to know how it becomes the best Christmas present in the world. So first we are going to see the summary. The best Christmas present in the world is a story by Michael Marcargo. It is written by Michael Marcargo. In the story, the author buys a roll-top table from a junk shop, and to restore it, he starts working on it. Restore means repair. Working on it on Christmas Eve. He starts working on it on Christmas Eve. So while repairing it, he finds a secret space in the last drawer. He found a secret space in the last drawer. So these important points will help you in attending 1 mark questions. So be careful. In that secret space was a small tin box. He finds a letter inside the tin box written by Jim Macpherson. The letter was written by Jim Macpherson. He is the captain of English Army. To his wife, Connie. The letter was written to his wife, Connie Macpherson. It was a narration of an incident that took place on the battlefield in 1914 on Christmas Day. The battle took place on the year 1914, that too on a Christmas Day. Okay. On that day, the German and English soldiers were celebrating Christmas together. So forgetting the rivalry, that is the fight between them, and also they were at the war, they shared wine and food. Okay, they were sharing wine and food, and they were enjoying the Christmas. They shared wine and food. Also, they played a football match and sang carols at night. Sang carols means singing songs. So the author took the letter to Mrs. Macpherson to the hospital where she was taking treatment. Okay, to give her the best Christmas present in the world. So which is the best Christmas present in the world? It is a letter that is given to Connie Macpherson. So the detailed explanation is, the story begins with author buying a cheap roll-top table from a junk shop. He bought it from a junk shop. It was in Bridport. The junk shop was in Bridport. Though it was in a bad condition, the author thought that he would restore it. On Christmas Eve, he started repairing it. The table was of the 19th century. It was belonging to the 19th century and was made of oak tree. The drawers were badly damaged due to fire and water. When the author pulled out the last drawer, he found a secret space there. In that secret space was a small tin box. So on top of that box it was written, Jim's last letter, received January 25, 1915. The letter was received by Connie Macpherson on Jan 25, 1915. But the letter was written on December 26, 1914. So she got it after 1 month. So to be buried with me when the time comes. So inside the tin box was an envelope with the address written on it. Mrs. Jim Macpherson, 12 Copper Beaches, Bridport. Yes, the address is mentioned as Mrs. Jim Macpherson, 12 Copper Beaches, Bridport. The date on the envelope was December 26, 1914. The author began to read the letter. It was written by Jim Macpherson. So a captain of English Army took his wife, Connie. He had narrated a beautiful incident that took place on Christmas Day. It was Christmas Day and the English and the Germans were at war. English and the Germans were at war. Both the armies were in their respective trenches. Trenches mean the place they hide. All of a sudden he saw someone waving a white flag. White flag indicates that they doesn't want to fight. So from the German side. So the English soldiers thought that it might be a trick. He heard the German soldiers wishing them Merry Christmas and some of the English soldiers also wished them back. Surprisingly, they saw German soldiers moving towards them. So which alarmed the captain Macpherson. So he thought it could be a trick to kill them. Okay. But they exchanged the meat and wine in order to celebrate the Christmas. The soldiers were hugging and wishing each other. Hans Wolf, the German officer, shook hands with Macpherson. Wolf told him that he was from Dusseldorf and played cello in an orchestra. As I told you in the video, in those days, people will not take up the position as soldiers. They will be working in different phase. But during the time of war, all the people, all the citizens should take part in the war. So each one from each home should take part in the war. So Wolf told him that he was from Dusseldorf and played cello in orchestra. Macpherson told him that he was from Dorset and he was a school teacher. Hans Wolf told him that he knew English and Thomas Hardy is his favorite writer. Okay, so he knew about the Dorset by reading the books of Thomas Hardy and in which the book called Far from Madding Crowd, in which he has learned more about the place Dorset. And this man, Macpherson, shared the cake with Hans Wolf, which was sent by his wife. The soldiers played football together. After the match, all of them enjoyed the food and drinks. After all this, they parted back to their trenches. After enjoying, they went back to their trenches, that is the place they were hiding. And unwillingly, they went very much unwillingly. Late at night, both the armies sang carols for a while and then there was silence. So he wrote that these memories are a treasure for his lifetime and hoped that the war will end soon and he will meet Coney very soon. After reading the letter, the author decided to return the letter to Mrs. Macpherson. He went to her house in Bridport, Dorset and found that it was burned and the house was burned, and because of that only the roll top desk was also very much damaged with fire and water. So Mrs. Macpherson is of 101 years old. She was inside the house at the time of fire, and the author comes to know that Mrs. Macpherson is in the nursing home. She is in the nursing home. He finds her sitting on a chair there. When he called her Coney and returned the letter to her, her eyes lit up. Once she saw the letter, her eyes lit up. She took his hand with eyes filled with tears and said that Jim kept the promise. Jim kept the promise. That is, Jim told in the letter that he would meet her soon. Yes, so he has came to meet her soon. She thought that Jim has came to meet her. So also she made the author to sit beside her and talk lovingly for a long time. She said that it is the best Christmas present in the world. It is the best Christmas present in the world. So the story states that the war brings only destruction and sadness in the world. Yes, in this, as the letter mentioned, but Mr. Macpherson cannot come back because he died in the war. Yes, as he did not return, only she has mentioned in the letter as Jim's last letter. So this shows that he has died in the war. Yes, so it brings only sadness. Only the path of peace will lead us to the happiness. As they were forgetting the war and they were enjoying the Christmas, that brought peace peace among them, right? Yes. And for the welfare of mankind, we should not go for any war. So it states that the letter is most memorable gift of Coney, who was waiting for the arrival of her dead husband. Some important words and their meanings. Spotted it, saw it or awaited, waiting for. Backdrop, a theatre cloth which is painted and hung at the back as a part of scenery. So if you see in our dramas, we use screens which is painted with the scenery which is according to the drama's situation. So reunion, an instance for two or more people to come together after a period of separation. Endeavor, the art of trying hard to achieve something. Some opposites are here. Spotted, unspotted. Restore, remove. Drifting, limp. Hesitate, ready. Hold, release. Warmly, coldly. Middle, corner. Across, around. Generously, stingy or selfish. Unwillingly, willingly. Here are some question answers for you to revise. What did the author find in a junk shop? The author found a roll-top desk in the junk shop, which was in a very bad condition. What did he find in a secret drawer? Who do you think had put it in there? Who had put it in there? He had found a small black tin box with a piece of lined note paper, which is sellotape. On the top of it was written Jim's last letter. It was Jim's last letter to Mrs. Macpherson. So it seems that Mrs. Macpherson has put it in the drawer. Who had written the letter to whom and when? Jim Macpherson was a soldier. He had written the letter to his wife Pony. The letter was written on December 26, 1914, a day after Christmas, from the battlefield during First World War. What jobs did Hans Wolf and Jim Macpherson have when they were not soldiers? So Hans Wolf was a musician and played cello in the orchestra, and Jim was a school teacher when they were not soldiers. In early 20th century, during the time of war, it is common for people to get enrolled in the army. Even today, certain countries like Israel make it mandatory for all adults to serve in the military for a certain period. Hans Wolf had ever been to Dorset? Why did he say he knew it? Though Wolf had not been to Dorset, he had learned about it in schools. So, and from reading books, he had read so much about Dorset in the books that he became familiar with that, and hence said that he knew about Dorset. Why did the author go to Bridport? The author went to Bridport to deliver the letter to Mrs. Macpherson in order to get her last wish fulfilled. Who did Connie Macpherson think her visitor was? Connie Macpherson thought that her visitor was her husband, Jim Macpherson. Which sentence in the text shows that the visitor did not try to hide his identity? The line, I sat down beside her and she kissed my cheek, shows that the visitor did not try to hide his identity. What is Connie's Christmas present? Why is it the best Christmas present in the world? The return of her husband Jim's the best Christmas present for Connie. As she thought the author to be her husband, it is the best Christmas gift for her. She gets what she has been longing for more than 75 to 80 years. Hence for her, it is the best Christmas present in the world. Fill in the blanks. The author spotted dash in a junk shop. Answer is roll top desk. It was in a dash condition. Answer is bad condition. What does the word scorch marks mean? The scorch marks mean burn marks. The junk shop was in dash, Bridport. The British soldiers were called as dash. They were called as Tommies. The German soldiers were mentioned in the letter as dash, Fritz. It is written as Fritz. The name of the Fritz officer was, who was the Fritz officer? That is the German officer. It is Hans Wolf. Choose the best answer. Whom did the narrator went to meet in Bridport? It is Connie Macpherson. The answer is Connie Macpherson. Old lady was sitting in a dash. Options are wheelchair, roll top desk, rolling chair. Which is the right answer? The old lady was sitting on a wheelchair. Connie Macpherson mistook the author for dash. Jim, her father or her son. She mistook the author for Jim. Muddle-headed means dash. Confused, happy, destroyed. The answer is confused. Now we are moving into Unit 2, Prose, that is the tsunami. Do you remember? I showed you a video based on tsunami, right? It is a huge wave. Do you remember? Yes. So let us see the summary. It is the introduction. A tsunami is a long high sea wave caused by an earthquake or other disturbance. The 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami affected Thailand and the parts of India such as Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Tamil Nadu coast. The earthquake was the third largest ever recorded. That was the third one which was very large ever recorded. The lesson shares a few accounts of people. It is some incidents happened in some people's life. So who used their wits and fortunately survived it courageously. One who was saved from the tsunami giving their own account what had happened on that day. Now at the story of Ignatius. The lesson begins with few stories from the Andaman and Nicobar group of islands. The first is of a manager. He is a manager of cooperative society named Ignatius, who was wakened up by his wife because she felt the earthquake. After keeping the television on the floor, he rushed his family out of the house, where they saw large waves coming towards them on the beach. Two of his children, who had held his hands with their mother's father and brother, were swept away along with their mother. So only two children, that is the children of others, who stuck with Ignatius were saved. Now at the story of Sanjeev, the second person. Next to the account of a policeman in the Nicobar Islands named Sanjeev, who managed to save his wife and baby daughter, but upon hearing cries from his guest house, that is Cook's wife, he ran into the water which swallowed both of them. He went to save the cook's wife, but both of them were swept away. It is the story of Meghna, a 13-year-old girl who was swept away by the waves along with her family and 70 other people. She managed to stay alive by holding on to a wooden door. She could not be seen by relief helicopters. She saw them for 11 times, but they cannot see her. So for 2 days and came to the shore only through a wave. Again a wave took her to the shore. Fourth is the story of Alma's family. As soon as her father got to know about tsunami, he took everyone to a safer place. So in the process of doing so, Alma's grandfather got hit in the head by something, and when Alma's father tried to save the girl's grandfather, they got carried away by the waves. Alma's mother and aunts were held on to the leaves, that is leaves of a coconut tree, and finally the total tree was uprooted by a huge wave and they were also swept away. Finally, Alma's got a wooden log, she got a wooden log and she managed to save her life. Next is the story of Tilly Smith. In this, she is from South England but had come to visit Thailand to spend their vacation on beach resort. So Penny and Colin Smith had two daughters. So who is the father? Penny Smith, and Colin Smith is her mother. They had two daughters, out of which the elder one is a 10-year-old girl, that is Tilly Smith. So help save their entire family and lot of other people who stood near them. So from the gigantic waves. So as she saw the sea rising and the beach getting smaller, she recalled a lesson from her geography class. Okay, the geography teacher has shown her video about a tsunami wave which had happened long before, and that helped her to find out something is wrong going to happen in the place. So if she got hysterical. disaster. So the third and the last part of the lesson talks about how animals manage to stay safe. Two beliefs offer the explanation for the same, because first they possess sixth sense. The animals possess sixth sense and can predict disasters. So before the humans could sense the disaster, the animals can easily sense what is going to happen. So second, they have acute hearing abilities. They have a very sharp hearing abilities that make them sensitive towards the earth's vibrations. So facts that say that animals are at the national park, that is the Yala National Park in Sri Lanka, managed to protect themselves while 60 human lives were taken by the huge waves. So in Sri Lanka, that is in Yala National Park, many animals saved their life, but nearly 60 members were swept away by the waves. So only carcasses of 2 water buffaloes were found. So they can find only 2 water buffaloes in there. So one such man in Galilee reported that his 2 dogs always preferred to go for a walk on the beach. On that day alone, they refused to come out of the house. So indirectly, they saved that man's life also. Important meanings: tremor, a slight shake; chaos, complete disorder or confusion; guest house, a private house offering accommodation to paying guests; relief helicopters, so helicopters bringing help to the people; daze, a state of stunned confusion or bewilderment; Port Blair, Port Blair is the capital city of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, a union territory of India in the Bay of Bengal. Recede, move back from where it was. Non-Cowrie Island, it is an island in the central part of the Nicobar Islands. Clinging, hold on tightly to. Uprooted, a tree pulled out of the ground. Kamota, one of the Nicobar Islands. Traumatized, greatly shocked and distressed. Resort, a place where people go on holiday to stay. Sumatra, it is a large Indonesian. Port Blair is the capital city of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, a union territory of India in the Bay of Bengal. Recede, move back from where it was. Move back from where it was. Non-Cowrie Island, an island in the central part of the Nicobar Islands. Clinging, hold on tightly to. Uprooted, the tree pulled out of the ground. Kamota, one of the Nicobar Islands. Traumatized, greatly shocked and distressed. Resort, a place where people go on holiday. Sumatra, it is a large Indonesian island. Whirlpools, a quickly rotating mass of water. Hysterical, affected or deriving from uncontrolled emotion. Refuge means shelter or protection from danger. Withstood, endure without collapsing. Surge, force or momentum. Forewarn, inform someone of a possible future or danger or a problem. Opposites: slant, open; tremor, stillness; swept, drew in; clinging, separated; massive, tiny; triggered, consoled or calm; enticed, disgust; abandoned, lied; abandoned, lived; approaching, left. Say whether the following sentences are true or false. Ignatius lost his wife, 2 children, his father-in-law and his brother-in-law in the tsunami. Answer is true. Sanjeev made it safety after the tsunami. False. He was swept away. Meghna was saved by a relief helicopter. False. She was taken to the shore by the wave. Alma's father realized that a tsunami was going to hit the island. True. Her mother and aunts were washed away with the tree that were holding on to. Answer is true. Answer in one or two phrases. Why did Tilly's family come to Thailand? They had come to Thailand to spend at a beach resort during their vacations. So what were the warning signs that both Tilly and her mother saw? Tilly and her mother saw the sea rising, forming bubbles and foam, creating whirlpools, which they took as a warning sign. Do you think Tilly's mother was alarmed by them? No, yes, Tilly's mother was alarmed by the rising sea waves. So once Tilly was also shouting at them, she took everybody along with them to the resort. In the tsunami, 150,000 people died. How many animals died? So the tsunami took around 150,000 human lives, but not a lot of animals were found dead. How many people and animals died in Yala National Park? In Yala National Park, 60 people were swept away along with the water, but animal carcasses were found except for the 2 water buffaloes. Other than that, all the animals fled to safety. What do the people say about the elephants of Yala National Park? So people reported to have seen the elephants of Yala National Park run away from the Patanamala beach at least an hour before, 1 hour before they have fled to safety, before the tsunami hit that area. What did the dogs in Galley do? A man living in the coast near Galley in Sri Lanka, he reported that his dogs refused to come out for a usual walk or run on the beach that morning. So which he mentioned that they are very excited generally, but that day they did not come out. He further added that it saved his life too. Answer briefly. How are Meghna and Alma's stories similar? We see that Alma and Meghna were clinging on to a wooden door and a wooden lock. Yes, Meghna and Alma's stories are quite similar. Meghna got swept away by the waves with her entire family. It was only in the sea that she found a wooden door, that she did not let it go away. Thus, she was taken to the shore by a wave. Alma, on the other hand, lost her entire family to the waves, but fortunately enough, she found a wooden log that she climbed on it and survived. Thus, both of them took opportunity to save themselves by taking help from an item made of wood. What are the different ways in which Tilly's parents would have reacted to her behavior? What would you have done if you were in their place? So the question is, if you were in the place of Tilly's parents, what you would have done? Tilly's parents would have ignored her warnings, but they did not do that, and directions considering her as a child. So we know people, when the children say something, the elder ones will not hear them, right? Yes, but Tilly's parents considered what the child is saying. It often happens that parents ignore what the child is saying because they feel that they can find a better solution. In an extreme case scenario, they could have even scolded for her being hysterical in that moment. Why? If you shout simply like anything, some parents will scold us. Yes, this is because this type of behavior by a child is generally not appreciated by the parents. Had I been in this situation, I would have done exactly what Tilly's parents did, which is to hear what the kid is saying when I am clueless and take my family along with other people to a safer place, just like Tilly's parents did. So in this part, you can try to answer on your own. What is your suggestion? So if you are a parent of Tilly, what you would have done? Yes? MCQs. Kachal is dash, an island, a tourist place, a peninsula. The answer is an island, which is the word that means a group of islands and the surrounding sea in part 1. So Tremor, Cayos, Archipelago. The answer is archipelago. When the dash stopped, they saw the sea rising. Waves, tremors, Cayos. It is tremors. Fourth one, The earth trembled, but not many people felt the dash. Tremors. The earth trembled, but many of them did not feel the tremors. Tremors means shaking of the earth. When the zoo was flooded, there was a lot of dash and animals escaped to the countryside. That is in confusion. Something was dashed on Alma's grandfather's head. Hit on Alma's grandfather's head. Next we are moving into the section poem. First poem is the ant and the cricket, and the second that is adopted from Aesop's fables. First we are going to see the summary of it. Desperate cricket. So in this poem we learn about an ant and a cricket. So how the ant spends its summer and how a cricket spends its summer. So desperate cricket. There was a cricket. He used to sing all through the pleasant months of summer and spring. When the winter arrived, he found that there was no food at home. Then he said, "What will become of me? What will happen to me?" He became desperate by starvation. He did not have anything to eat. He went to an ant. He requested him to lend him shelter from rain and a mouthful of food. So he promised to return it back when the next summer comes. He added that if the ant did not do what he wanted, he would die out of starvation. Miserly ant. The ant replied that ants did not even borrow anything and they won't lend also. He, however, asked the cricket if he did not lay by anything in good shelter. He asked him what he did do during the warm weather. So the ant asked, the cricket went and asked for food and shelter. But the question from ant's side was, what you were doing during the summer? The cricket replied that he was very glad about the pleasant weather. He was very happy to enjoy the pleasant summer. So in his happiness, he kept on singing all the time. He was kept on singing all the time. At this, the ant advised him to pass away the winter by dancing. On hearing that, the cricket whiled away all the time in singing. The ants advised him to go and dance the winter away. So saying so, the ant returned the cricket away out of his house. Some important meanings and opposites. Accustomed, used to, unaccustomed. So it is the word, this is the meaning, and this column is for opposites. Summer, warm weather. Opposite is winter. Crumb, meaning bit. Opposite, lot. Famine, scarcity, sufficiency. Famine, meaning scarcity. Opposite, sufficiency. Miserly, stingy, generous. Trembling, shaking, still. Starvation, die without food, well fed. Borrow, get from others. This is lend. Opposite is lend. Fable, story that has animals as characters. So opposite is reality. Quote means said. Opposite unsaid. MCQs. The cricket accustomed to dash. Sing, dance, eat. The answer is sing. He couldn't find even a dash. A crumb, food, snow. He couldn't find even a crumb, a small bit of food. What made the cricket bold? Food, starvation, singing. What made the cricket bold? The starvation made the cricket bold to go and borrow something from the ants. He was trembling with dash. He was trembling with fire, snow, cold. The answer is cold. Answer the following questions. The cricket says, "Oh, what will become of me?" When does he say this and why? The cricket says, "Oh, what will become of me?" When does the poem that means the same as neither a borrower nor a lender be Shakespeare. The lines are, but the ants never borrow, the ants never lend. So this word is said by Shakespeare, that is neither a borrower nor a lender. Don't borrow anything from others, don't lend anything to others. It is said by Shakespeare. So which line states this statement is equal to the statement? The lines are, but the ants never borrow, the ants never lend. Which lines in the poem express the poet's comment? Read them aloud. See. Folks call it fable. I warrant true. Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. Yes? So the lines, that is the author as narrator. Folks call it a fable. I will warrant true. Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. The ants tell cricket to dance the winter away. Do you think the word dance is appropriate here? If so, why? The ant is sarcastic when he tells the cricket to dance the winter away. During summer, the cricket has spent all his time in singing. So the ant advises him to dance during the winter and spend all his time in the same manner. What is your opinion of ants' principles? The ant lives a life of self-sufficiency. It is not dependent on anybody, but likes to work hard to make a living. It is far-sighted to save grains for a rainy day. So have you seen ants keep on collecting food during summer season? Yes. So because they save it for the rainy days when they cannot come out. So not borrowing and lending grains to others and saving grains for hard times are the 2 important principles which guide it. Fill in the blanks. The cricket wished only to dash from the ants. The cricket wished only to dash from the ants. It wished only to borrow from the ants. He cannot found even a crumb on the dash land. Snow-covered land. During winter, everything it will be covered with snow. Yes. He wanted ants to provide dash from rain. Shelter from rain. Go and dash the winter away, said the ants. Said the ants. Dance the winter. Go and dance the winter, said the ants. To keep him alive, all that he needed a mouthful of grain. He needed a mouthful of grain. But the ants replied that they never borrow and they never had the habit of lending. The habit of lending. Next we are moving to the second poem, that is the geography lesson. Introduction. The author of this poem is Zulfikar Bose. Who is the author? Zulfikar Bose. Bose was born in India before independence. Eventually, after independence, he settled in Pakistan and now he resides in the USA. This is a single stanza poem of 24 lines and does not have any rhyme scheme. In this poem, Bose talks about 3 things. Firstly, how everything looks from the sky. Secondly, how civilization was set up and why people hate each other. He talks about 3 things. One is how earth looks from the sky, and secondly, how civilization is set up and why people hate each other. The poet says that when he sees the city from a jet, he finds that the cities are not well planned. Not well planned. He realizes that water is very essential for various activities such as agriculture, transport, business, etc. As the jet moves higher, he reflects that people have built boundaries and hate each other. As the jet moves high, he found that people hate each other and set up boundaries for their own countries. The poem displays the poet's concern for division and friction among people. So the poem begins with the poet seeing the city from the jet. So he says that from the height of everything seems too but in some places what happens? It will be empty. So thus it has no particular style. When the jet reached the height of 10,000 feet, he could see that the cities were located near the rivers of water resources, because water is very essential for life. He realizes that availability of water resources is the reason behind unorganized cities, because only where there is the availability of water, there the presence of people will be high. The cities grew as per the necessities. People settled near the water resources more as they require water for almost all their activities. He understands that the fertile land and water are the key to human existence. Thus, he can see the logical reason for the development of the cities. Drinking water is vital to human life. Water is necessary for almost all human activities such as agriculture, production and all, business and transport, everything. So this is clear for him that water is attracting people. So lastly he ponders why have people on earth built walls, boundaries and fences. The people say that the poet says that the human beings have a lot of knowledge about the earth, its shape and the emergence of civilization, cities and nations. We learn in geography, social science, civics, economics, history, everything, right? But we have so much of knowledge. But in this quest, we have attained absolutely no knowledge about how to live peacefully. We don't have the knowledge of living peacefully on this amazing planet. So he fails to understand that why people hate each other so much. So he understood why cities are abundantly populated, how the earth looks from the sky, everything he understood. But he cannot understand why people hate each other, why they are selfish, jealous and have a narrow mindset. So also he finds that the earth is one, but people living on it have divided and fragmented it in different countries. He also feels that people on the planet are not living in harmony together for shallow reasons. If people decide to forget their differences and stay together peacefully, this planet would be a wonderful and beautiful planet and an amazing place to live. Conclusion. So the poet concludes that, and with the moral, we shall use natural resources like land, water wisely. Also we shall all live together in harmony and not fight with each other, tribal for very small things. So in this way we can make Earth a beautiful planet to live in. Hard words. Jet, a rocket engine, sprang to arise or to burst forward, scaled, measured. Inevitability that cannot be avoided. Haphazard, without plan or order. Delineated, showed. Logic, a method of human thought that involves thinking in a linear step-by-step manner about how something is done or can be solved. Answer the following questions. Find 3 or 4 phrases in stanzas 1 and 2 which are likely to occur in a geography lesson. Answer. Scaled 6 inches to the mind, valleys were populated, land and water attracted man. So these are the things which shows that, these phrases shows that the stanza 1 and 2 which are likely to occur in a geography lesson. So seen from the window of an aeroplane, the city appears as haphazard as on ground, as neat as a map, as developed as necessary. Mark the right answer. So which one is correct? That as developed as necessary. Which of the following statements are examples of the logic of geography? There are cities where there are rivers. Cities appear as they are not from 6 miles above the ground. It is easy to understand why valleys are populated. It is difficult to understand why humans hate and kill each other. The earth is round and it has more sea than land. So the question is the logic of geography. Which are the sentences show the logic of geography? 1, 3 and 4. These are the correct statements. See, 1, 3 and 4. There are cities where there are rivers. Cities appear as they are not from 6 miles above the ground. And fourth one is, it is difficult to understand why humans hate Mention two things that are clear from the height, not clear from the height. So answer is the earth is round and it has more sea than land. This is clear from the height. Which is not clear. Why men hate each other and build walls across the cities is not clear. Answer briefly. Question 1. Some of the main ideas of the poem in about 50 words. The poet flew over the city in a jet plane. He found the city spread in a disorderly manner, but he knew it was unavoidable. From the height of 10,000 feet, he saw the rivers and valleys. He well understood why the valleys were populated. The land and water facility attracts people. It was logic of geography. From a height of 6 miles, he noticed that the earth was round and had more of sea than land. But he failed to understand why people hated each other and divided the land and separated into units and killed each other. What lesson of geography did the poet learn when he flew above the city? As the poet flies in a jet, he notices that the cities below were not properly planned. So he could see why it was so. From a height of 10,000 feet, he noticed that valleys were populated. It was quite reasonable and understandable. It was a compulsion of geography that people should settle down in places where it is very flat, where there is plenty of water and food is available. It is quite illogical why people hate and kill each other. He is telling that that is logical and why they kill each other is illogical. MCQs. Who is the author of this poem? Zulfikar Bose, Zulfikar Khan, Zulfikar Bhai. Who is the author? Answer is Zulfikar Bose. The land and water dash the man. Attracted, pulled, pushed. Answer is attracted. When jet rose 6 miles high, it was clear that the earth was dashed. Opposite, round, densely populated. The answer is round. Densely populated. Dash was not clear. Why men lived in cities, why men hated each other, and why cities have more population. The answer is why men hated each other. How the camel got its hump. So now we are moving into the supplementary section. That is, first one is how the camel got its hump. So the story tells us the tale belonging to a time when the world was just begun. The animals worked for the human beings. So there was a camel who lived in the middle of the desert because he did not want to work. He did not want to work. On a Monday morning, the horse came to him and asked him to join others in trotting. Trotting means carrying things. The camel replied by saying, "Hump." After a while, the dog came to him to ask him to join with the rest of them in fetching things. So he said, "Hump." Similarly, when the ox came to him and asked him to plow like others, he replied with the hump. So for everything, the camel started talking only hump. All three of them reported this to the man. When the ray was about to got over, the man called the horse, the dog and the ox together and told them that they had to work double the time because the hump thing, that is the camel, won't work. The three got angry and decided to hold a panchayat. Panchayat means they started discussing about it. So it was only then they found the camel who laughed at them and said, "Hump." Again the camel saw them discussing about him and he said, "Hump," and went. Again and left. Shortly after that, the jinn of all forests arrived and asked the reason behind the tree's anger. The horse told him about their double shifts and that the reason behind it was lazy camel who would not stop saying "Hump." The jinn took the matter in his own hands and went to see the camel. The camel was looking at his reflection in the water. When the jinn found him, the camel won't even reply to the jinn properly. He said only "hump" and "hump" again and again. Thus he saw it in the water His back was puffing up. What is puffing up? Growing up. It suddenly became a hump. His back became a hump. Upon asking, the jinn told him that he has brought this hump over himself as a consequence of his own actions, and now he should work. The camel was confused about how he will work with the hump on its back. So the jinn told him that the hump will let him work for 3 days without having to eat anything. So he can live on his hump. Since then, the camel works and carries his hump, which will now call hump, not to hurt his feelings, but still does not behave properly. Still the camel is not behaving properly. He has to come over with all the pending works. Howling desert. A desert where you hear howling noises of both animals and the wind. Thorns. A stiff, sharp pointed woody projection on the stem or other part of a plant. Prickles. A short pointed outgrowth on the bark or epidermis of a plant. A small thorn. Prickle means a thorn. Saddle. A seat fastened on the back of a horse or other animal for riding. Typically made of leather and raised at the front or rear. Trot. Run at moderate pace with short steps. Trot means run with short steps. Fetch. Go and then bring back something. To fetch something. Yoke. A wooden cross piece that is fastened over the necks of two animals and attached to the plough or cart that they are to pull. Plough. Turn up the earth of an area of land which a plough, especially before sowing. Panchayat. Panchayat is a council. Cud. Partly digested food returned from the first stomach of ruminants to the mouth for further chewing. Jinn. Pronounced jinn and variously spelled as jinn, jenny, jenny, jinni, jinni or jinni. So a spirit that has strange powers and can consume any form, human or animal. View used to express surprise. I'll hump him. I will deal with him appropriately. I'll set him right. So next is answer the following. What tasks do you think were assigned to the dog and the ox? The dog was assigned to the task of fetching and carrying, while the ox on the other hand was asked to plough. Why did the camel live in the middle of the desert? The camel had no intention of working, thus he lived in the middle of the desert where everything is in abundance. What made the dog, the horse and the ox very angry? Upon realizing that the camel won't work, the man asked the dog, the ox and the horse to work double the time. So this made them angry. For that they would have to work double time. For that this made the three very angry. How did Jinn know the horse was complaining against the camel? The Jinn was in charge of all the deserts. So thus when the horse gave a description of the camel that he had long neck and long legs, the Jinn could easily identify that he was talking about the camel. So the camel was looking at his own reflection in the pool. What does it suggest to you about the camel? The camel was looking at his own reflection in the pool. This shows that he was quite proud of his looks. He quite proud of his looks, especially his back. The camel said hump repeatedly. How did it affect him? As a result of his repeated reply, hump, he ended having a puffed up back. He was quite proud of his back that had now turned into a big hump. The hump will now help him to work for 3 days without food or water. So what according to the Jinn was the use of hump? According to the Jinn, the puffed up hump on the back of the camel would let him work for 3 days straight, that is without leave. Because he did not work for the first 3 days on the earth without having to eat anything. So the camel could now live on his hump. Has he never yet learned to behave in the light of this? What is the writer's opinion about the camel? camel is still lazy animal who had failed to compensate for the first 3 days. He missed working, right? He still makes fun of others. Thus, the writer has said he has never yet learned to behave. MCQs. In how the camel got its hump, how does the camel get the hump? He makes the tree very angry and they magically make a hump. He grows a hump of fat as a result of not working and not helping the tree. He says hump too many times to the jinn, who makes a hump magically appear. He asks the jinn for a hump so he will be able to go for at least 3 days without food. Option C is the right answer. He says hump too many times to the jinn and so he gave a magical hump to be appeared. In how the camel got its hump, what problem does the camel create for the other characters? The man becomes frantic because not all of his work will get done. The ox, horse, dog became angry because they must do extra work. The jinn becomes upset because it is his camel and it should behave better. So the ox, horse, dog, man and jinn must figure out a way to make the camel work. So what is the problem here? The ox, horse and the dog became angry because they must do extra work. Answer is option B. So in how the camel got its hump, which statements best describe the purpose of the hump? Choose 2 options. So the hump is a mark of laziness that all can see. The camel can live off the hump for 3 days. The hump allows people to sit safely upon the camel's back. The camel carries the hump to show that it belongs to jinn. The hump serves as a punishment for camels refusing to work. So the answer is option A and B. The hump is mark of laziness that all can see. Second one is the camel can live off the hump for 3 days without eating food. In fourth one, how the camel got its hump. How does the camel respond to his fate? He works hard in order to make up for the days he didn't work. He helps people cross the desert since he needs little water. He does work but he has bad attitude about doing it. He remains lazy and refuses to work with the tree. So option A, he works now very hard in order to make the tree does that he did not work, but still he cannot compensate that work. Which meaning of bit does the author use in this sentence? Presently the horse came to him on Monday morning with a saddle on his back and a bit in his mouth and said, Camel, O Camel, come out and trot like the rest of us. So here, what does the word bit means here? A short period of time, a small amount of food, something held with the teeth, the cutting edge of a certain tool. The answer is option C, something is hold in the teeth. Next, we are moving into the next lesson, that is children and work. Children and work. The main characters of the story is Vedu and Jaya. Children at Work is a sensible story by Geeta Wolf, written by Geeta Wolf, which focuses on the living slum children. So this story teaches us to be empathetic with these children and help whatever we can. So this story involves a boy named Vedu. He was a small boy of 11 years old. His father was a drunkard, so he runs away from his home because his father would snatch away the money he and his sister would earn. Venu on the platform. So he got off the train at Chennai Central. His legs were unsteady as if he was still standing in a moving train because he did not eat anything for past 2 days. So he was very much wobbling in the platform. He sat on a bench on the platform with a small bundle beside him. He was very hungry because he did not eat anything except a piece of jaggery. Chennai Central Station. Chennai Central Station is a huge station where you saw people in a rush with their suitcases. So a loudspeaker was shouting with the announcement. Some people were watching a big TV screen. Some were sitting on the other platform. Vedu was feeling very weak and his legs were shaking. He had come to Chennai in an unreserved compartment sitting near the gate. A group of people played cards and shouted throughout the night so that he couldn't sleep. So he felt very miserable in a new place and sat on a bench. Now Vedu meets Jaya. Jaya is a rap picker. She is a girl around his age. She was wearing a very long bunny. So Vedu stared at her, waited Then she asked his name. She guessed rightly that Velu had run away from his home. She told that he won't get food sitting there. So the girl was a rat picker and she picked her sack and moved away. So Velu did not have someone, he did not know anybody to follow. So he just followed that girl. A rat-picker small girl with brown dirty hair named Jaya saw him. This is the description for Jaya. So initially Velu was reluctant to talk to her because she is a stranger, and later he just followed her because he had no other hope or support for her in that new place. Velu had no English. So in this lesson you can see that Velu had no English because he doesn't know to read the boards, sign boards. Okay, because when it was written in Camel as Central Jail, he could read it. But in English, he could see some signboards, but he cannot read them. So Velu caught up with the girl. The two came on the road. They walked along the side of the road. There were huge signboards about them. The writing was all in English. So Velu understood nothing. This showed that he did not know English. Central Jail. They walked for a long time. The girl pointed out to the Central Jail. That is, it is a Central Jail, and she told that you should be very careful, otherwise you will be caught by the police. So Velu told that I did not do anything to be caught up. So the girl told that whatever you are doing or not, you should be very careful from the police. The garbage bin. After about an hour's walk, they stopped in front of a big building. The sign on the big building read Sri Rajarajeshwari Prasanna Kalyana Mandapam. So he can read that board. This shows that he knows to read Tamil. So Velu read that as it was in Tamil, like the sign on the Central Jail. Velu looked at the huge hall and the crowds, people inside. He thought that she would take him to go and eat inside the hall. But she took to the garbage bin and they found a vada and a banana for eating. The food. The girl picked up a crushed banana and offered it to Velu. Velu was shocked. He asked us if they are going to eat the leftovers. The girl disagreed. She said that we are eating only the untouched food. She threw him a vada. Velu looked at it with a distaste. So however, he was too hungry to refuse any food. So he just ate it. And the girl ate a banana. The girl's work. The girl is named Jaya and she is a rat picker. Rat picker means she has to take out all the leftovers, that is thrown out as waste. All the plastic bottles and all the things that is we are throwing it when it was broken. She has to pick them up and she has to give it to the Jam Bazaar Jargu. The girls' home. They walked on for an half an hour. They came to a bridge across a dirty trickle of water. Jaya called it Buckingham Canal. Near some puddles of water there was a row of huts. So she is living in a slum. So they were the strangest huts Velu had ever seen because they were made of all sorts of things. So in villages the huts will be made of only the coconut palm leaves. But here it was made up of metal sheets, tires, bricks, wood, everything. So they stood crookily and looked as if they would fall at any moment. So the house was like falling at any moment. So Jaya dumped her sack outside the hut. Then she picked up an empty one. She gave Velu a pair of old shoes without laces. So she handed him a sack and stick also. So Velu was confused. Then Jaya explained that she was a rat picker and this was the only work she could give to Velu if he wanted any work. So children like her collected paper, plastic, glass. Then they sell them to the Jargu of Jam Bazaar. So Jargu sells them to a factory where it was remade. At the beginning, Velu was hesitated to take up this job, but he doesn't have any other work. He has to do that until he gets a better one. Hard works, pulled in, arrived, wobbly, unsteady, terrible, causing great fear or sorrow. bump, hold, glumly, happily. Decided, indecisive. Rubbish, useful. Realized, unknown. Side, confident. So here are some question answers to read. Velu stood on the platform, but he felt as if he was still in a moving train. Why? So Velu stood on the platform, but he was thinking that he is still in a moving train because he did not eat anything and his legs were wobbling. So as a result of the train journey from his village to Chennai. What made him feel miserable? Velu had to run away from his village and he had not eaten anything for the last 2 days and he was except some peanuts and the jaggery. It made him feel miserable and exhausted. Velu travelled without a ticket. Why? How did he escape the ticket collector's attention? So Velu had no money to buy a ticket, so he travelled without it. He escaped the ticket collector's attention because luckily the ticket collector did not come to the unreserved compartment. He did not come to the unreserved compartment. Why had Velu run away from home? Velu had run away from home because he couldn't stand his father beating him for one more day. He cannot bear his father for one more day. His father was also snatching away the money because he was a drunkard. He did not want to go to school also. Why did he decide to follow the strange girl? He decided to follow the strange girl as he had no idea where to go or what to do. Can Velu read Tamil and English? How do you know? Velu could not read English. He could not understand the writing in the signboards. He could read only Tamil, though as he was able to read Tamil and Central Jail under Sri Rajarajeshwari Prasanna Kalyana Mandapam. Where did the girl lead Velu to? What did they get to eat? The girl led Velu to a marriage hall. They got some leftover food to eat. So the girl gave a banana and a vada to Velu, and while she got just one banana for herself. What work did she do? Think of one word answer. So she was doing rag picking. What material are the strange huts made out of? Why does Velu find them strange? So the strange huts are built out of all sorts of things: metal sheets, tires, bricks, wood and plastic. So Velu finds them strange because in his village houses are made of mud and palm leaves. MCQs. The Kanyakumari Express pulled at the dash station. Answer is Chennai Central, Coimbatore Central, Kanyakumari Central. The answer is option A, Chennai Central. Second one, Velu was dash years old. 12, 11, 13. Answer is 11. Velu does not know to read dash English, Tamil, none. Which one he did not know? He did not know to learn read English. Jaya's house is a dash made of metal sheets. The answer is bag, hut or tent. It is hut. Jaya was dash. Farmer, cattle grazer, rat picker. She was a rat picker. So children, I hope you have understood and listened to the topics discussed in this video. Your work is to study well. You can refer the classwork and the video for your revision part. Yes? Bye.